going to share 7 tips to help you sell more art using vertical video. And these are the type of videos that are on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. Basically, vertical video is any type of video that you record with your phone placed vertically. They are typically short form videos, oftentimes anywhere from 6 to 8 seconds, all the way up to 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the platform. But typically, these videos are around a minute or less. First tip has to do with captions. These are the words that automatically show up while a person is speaking in a vertical video. You can also have captions in long form videos. You're seeing them appear on the screen right now. I just wanted to show you an example of what captions are. But why you want to do this is that it's going to increase your retention. If you're unfamiliar with the term retention, it's just how long people are watching your video. But you want to get them to watch for as long as possible, because the algorithms on all of the different social media networks, they look at your retention to see whether or not they're going to show your video to more and more people. So they'll start out with a very small group of people just to test your video with. And if your retention is really low, they're probably going to stop showing your video to people. But if your retention is fairly good, they'll show it to a little bit bigger group of people. And then if those people watch for a long time, they'll show it to more people. And then it just continues to grow. And this is how a viral video is made. And why would you want a viral video? I mean, I guess the answer to this is obvious. The more people who see your video, the more likely you are to sell artwork, especially if you have a good, strong call to action, whether it's to sign up to your email newsletter, to see a new collection, or to purchase a piece that you are highlighting in the video on your website. But if you pair these things, the call to action, with a wide viewership, you're more likely to get more sales. I like to add captions using CapCut. It makes it really easy, and CapCut's free. There is a professional version that you can upgrade to, but you don't need that. You can just use the free version. It's available to use to edit on your phone and on your desktop. And I like to use the desktop version to edit my vertical videos. It just makes it a little bit easier on your hands. And I like seeing everything on a big computer screen while I'm doing the edits. It just makes it simpler for me. But you don't have to edit on the desktop. You can definitely use CapCut on your phone, or you can even use the apps. Let's say the YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels. When you're uploading directly from the platforms, they'll give you options to add auto captions. Tip number 2 is that you need a hook in the first 3 to 5 seconds of all of your vertical videos. If you're unfamiliar with what a hook is, it's something that's going to grab their attention. The easiest way to describe this is a video type or format that I know you've seen before. The artist is here with their canvas, building anticipation, and then they slowly flip it around so that you can see the finished result. This is easy to illustrate because it builds anticipation in the viewer. They see that backside of the canvas and they want to see it as it turns around, to see what the artist did, see what they created on this canvas. And so this is just one example, but the ultimate idea here is to create curiosity or desire in the viewer in some way. And if you're looking for more ways to hook the viewer, what I would suggest is to go on TikTok and watch all of the popular videos, things that have 100, 200,000 views, 1 million views in the art niche, and start seeing what they're doing in the very beginning 5 seconds of their video. And this will give you lots of ideas for potential hooks, because you can have hooks where you're doing a reveal, you can have a hook where you're showing something really close up and then going out into the bigger painting so they can see what you're creating. There are so many different ways to create hooks that I could create an entire video on it. And if you would like more videos on hooks specifically, just comment below and let me know. But on to tip number 3, and this has to do with your pacing. You want to make it very fast paced. You don't want to have a bunch of ums or uhs or dead air in there. Even consider taking out in the edit all of your breathing sounds. Now, I know this makes it sound like you're really motor mouthing it, right? You're speed talking if you remove every single breathing sound, and it takes extra time in the edit. But what I have found is the videos that I do that, if I make them short, like around 15 seconds, I edit out every single breathing sound and I make myself talk very, very quickly through the 15 seconds. Those videos always perform better than the ones where I'm talking in a more regular pace. Now, personally, I like to watch videos that are normal, where I'm just breathing and I'm being a normal human being, right? I'm not editing it out and there's all this choppiness. But a lot of the people who are watching shorts, you gotta realize they're seeing them in the shorts feed. And since a lot of other people are editing their videos super fast paced, yours will fit right in with those if it's fast paced. But if you're talking really slowly with not much life, kind of boring, people probably aren't going to watch it because the energy of your video isn't matching the energy level of the video they watched prior to yours and the video that they're going to watch after yours. And so it just kind of depends. You can totally experiment with this to see what works for you. I just know for me, when I cut out all the breathing sounds and the ums and the uhs and the pauses, it really helps with my retention. Tip number 4 is variety. You want to create lots of different views for a person to watch you making your work. So for example, if you have one video recording of you like slightly to the left and it's showing your hand painting or drawing, then you might want to, the next scene, like 5 seconds into it, change it to something that's straight on, or change it to something that's above, or change it to something that's from the other side or below. Make it interesting. Give different viewpoints or something that's very far away so they can see your entire studio. Now, I love to do this, showing the big wide studio angle and then the close-up of me actually painting and you can see the paint. Viewers seem to really like this when they can see the paint, or they can see the medium that you're working with up close. But then getting that far away look allows them into your life, into your studio a little bit. Like they're getting to see a little bit more to you than just the act of creating. Whatever you decide to video, you want to just make sure there's lots of different angles and lots of variety in your vertical videos, and make each scene around 5 up to 10 seconds, but don't have yourself just like talking head for a whole 1-minute video, because typically people aren't going to find that very interesting in a vertical video format. Tip number 5 is the narration. What I like to do is record myself painting. I can just paint. I don't have to be super concerned with trying to narrate the video while I'm creating my artwork. I just basically put my camera around my painting in different locations every minute or so for 5 or 10 minutes while I'm painting, just to get some good shots. And then later on, when I'm editing it in CapCut, I do a quick voiceover talking about my process or something about the painting that will make people laugh or they'll find endearing. So that way they'll have an emotional connection with my work. And I find that for me, this is just a little bit easier on the creation aspect. Now, I do know there are a lot of people who create videos. They'd rather talk while they're actually doing the artwork and record it all at the same time. And you can try that. Either way works. For me though, I just find it to be a little bit better on my creative process to do voiceovers later. The other reason why I like to do voiceovers is that once I edit the video file, I can upload it to all the different social media networks, the same exact video. And I don't have to worry about copyrighted music or anything like that on there. If you are creating, let's say, a TikTok and you use the TikTok app to put their music over your video, you can't upload that same video to Instagram and YouTube Shorts. What you'll have to do is take your video without any music on it and add music manually in YouTube Shorts or in Instagram Reels. And that just takes a lot of time. And personally, I don't have time for all of that. I use a social media scheduler app called Metricool. Link to that in the description if you're interested in checking it out. But it allows you to upload from your desktop computer to all the different social media networks that take vertical video. And so it makes it really streamlined and easy, but it only works well if you're not violating copyrights by having music on there you shouldn't have. And so ultimately, that's why I do the voiceovers, because it saves me time and I can just upload everything with one upload to all the different social media sites through Metricool. Tip 6 is to try different video links. I would start out with an 8-second clip and upload that to TikTok and Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, just to see how it will perform. Because for me, the shorter videos actually do better. I get a lot more exposure with them, and I get more people to follow me and comment typically off of the shorter videos. And I think it's just because people don't have to watch for very long to make it to the end. And if you can get them to watch 100% of your video, you're more likely to get that video pushed out by the algorithm. But on the other hand, I've also had videos that are around a minute long do really well. But here's the thing, the videos where I'm creating art, if I can keep them under 30 seconds, they seem to perform better than they do if I show videos of me creating art up to around a minute or even longer. But if I'm sharing actionable advice, like tips on how to paint, tips on how to sell art, then those videos do better if they're around a minute. So I think it depends on the style of video that you're creating. And this is why I think that it's important to try different lengths to see what fits best for you. Because what might be working for me might not work for you. So that's why a little bit of experimentation on the length of video is important. And if you've been doing 30-second videos and no one's watching, then definitely try doing a shorter video or two and see how that works out. And vice versa. If you're doing short videos and no one's really watching them or they're not getting very many views, then try some longer ones and see if that helps. Tip number 7 has to do with calls to action, and I would say to use them very sparingly. Now, it's important to ask people to subscribe to your newsletter or purchase your art every once in a while because you want to make sales. But one of the things that I've figured out over a lot of trial and error is that people who are watching the vertical videos, they don't want to be sold to. They don't want to feel like they are watching an ad. Now, at the very, very end, like the last 2 seconds of your video, if it's a 30-second long video, if you have a slight amount of text that pops up that says, "My painting is currently for sale on my website," that is unobtrusive enough that you could probably get away with doing that in every video. But if you are spending 5 seconds saying, "Hey, please subscribe to my email newsletter, links in the description or links in my profile," that's too much to say for a 15-second video because that'll be about a third of your video, right? And so you have to take it into consideration, the length of your video and how much time you're spending on your calls to action. And sometimes it's best not to include calls to action at all because retention is important, and viewers who are watching the short form content don't really want to see ads. They're likely to not continue watching their video if you start going into something really salesy. And that's why sometimes it's best just to not include any ads and use them as community building content, things that are going to get them to continue following you. And every once in a while, when you do put out a post and you ask for them to subscribe to your newsletter to get a freebie or to buy your new collection that just came out, they are more likely to be receptive to it if they've been following you for a while and they connect with you as a creator. So that's why it's really a good idea just to have mostly community building content, every once in a while have a call to action. Next, if you'd like to learn how to leverage the time you spent creating all these vertical videos so that way you can automatically upload them time and time again to your social media for many years to come, this is going to save you so much time and it saved me a lot of time. Check out this video. I show you exactly how to do it. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.